Sis, you can be powerful, magnetic, and soft all at the same time. Let me show you how.
Elevate with Monique. Elevate. Elevate with Monique. Elevate.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Gracefully Elevating with Monique. And of course, I am your hostess. And I want to say before we get started that if this is your first time visiting Gracefully Elevating with Monique, first of all, thank you so much for even stopping by. This is a place where women are able to come together and really understand how important and what it means to elevate every area of her personal life. We talk about all types of strategies and tips and tools that you can use to implement into your life right now to raise your vibration, to raise your energy, to raise your awareness, and ultimately elevate your life. If you are returning, I want to say welcome back. I do not take your presence for granted. So thank you for being here. Now, I want to jump right into the message today. So, September, of course, is my birthday month. And so, because of that, and in honor of that, I wanted to switch things up and really talk about how we are raising our feminine energy. I love talking about feminine energy because I think that it is one of those things that if we do it right, not only will we attract the things that we are wanting in our lives, but we do it with ease and we do it with grace and we do it with beauty. Okay. So today we are talking about how you can still feel soft. You can still feel powerful and you can still be very magnetic without having to operate from your masculine energy. And let me just put a plug right there and say, everybody has both masculine and feminine energy. It doesn't matter what gender you are. The difference between the two is just the way in which you move. Masculine energy is more doing, it's more producing, it's more making things happen, the grind of it all. Feminine energy is softer, it's more fluid. It allows you to kind of sit back and lean back and attract versus doing. So I think that there's a misconception in some ways for women who want to be softer but don't want to look weak, right? First of all, you're not weak, sis. None of us are weak. We might operate from weaknesses, but you're not weak. But even when we're talking about softness not equaling weakness, there is so much power in softness. Think about it. When someone leans in and I'm going to say a woman, and she is talking softer, she is moving with grace, that is magnetic. People want to know who that person is. They want to listen to what it is that that person has to say. There's nothing weak about that. So I have a few things that I want to share with you that can help you to not only lean into your softness, but also in a way that is not demonstrating weakness. We are not damsels in distress. We are powerful women who are embracing our softer side, right? And so practice saying no with softness. I love this one because I've literally learned the mastery of saying no with a smile. And I always say that you can say no to something with a smile. You don't have to be mean and I said no. No, you don't have to do that. You can simply say no. No, thank you. Oh, thank you. But no, thank you. Right? You see the difference between that no that's hard and masculine and rigid versus, oh, thank you, but no, thank you. Right? So practicing saying no, but with a smile. Another thing is allow yourself to be held without guilt. So if you've heard any of my videos in the past, I talked sometimes about the women who raised me and my grandmother being one of them. And she did not like to be touched. When I was younger, she didn't like to be touched. She wasn't an overly affectionate woman. And as a result of that, she didn't allow us to hold her, right? She didn't allow us to linger and hang on to her. And I picked up that trait as I grew up and as I started to develop my own habits, my own mentality, until I realized that I wanted to raise my feminine vibration and I needed to learn how to be held without guilt. That rocked my world. It was so uncomfortable. And I'll tell you, my teachers were my children because they want to hang on to you, they want to love on you. That's innately what they do. And when my children were overly affectionate, when I had not grasped this concept, it was difficult. It was difficult. Now I do it with ease, but it took some practice. It took me being comfortable with being held without guilt. Okay. Another thing is dressing to feel sensual and not stylish. The stylish is a byproduct. So, what this looks like for me is I love dresses, I love maxi dresses. And the reason I love them is because they are flowy. I like things that flow on my body, I like things that accentuate my curves and me as a woman, right? And so I like to wear things that do make me feel sensual. There's a difference between sensual and sexual. Let's be very clear, okay? We can talk about that in another video. But wearing things that make you feel sensual, soft fabrics, flowy fabrics, y'all, gone are the days that we just have everything hanging out and everything, nothing's left to the imagination. You can be sexy and literally covered up from head to toe. But what we're talking about right now is choosing fabrics that make you feel like a woman, that make you feel sensual, it makes you walk a certain way. It makes you move a certain way. It makes you enter a room a certain way. Okay. Another thing that you can do is journaling 3 ways that softness has helped you thrive. I know for me, softness has helped me thrive in a way that when I go somewhere, I set an intention. Let's say I'm taking myself to dinner, and let's say okay, I'll give a real life example, and don't judge me because even if you do, I don't care because this is really how I do sometimes. When I am practicing raising my feminine energy, I will go somewhere. Let's say I go to lunch and I say, okay, Lord, I don't want to pay for lunch today. I just don't want to pay for my lunch. I want to go to lunch, but I don't want to pay for it today. The way that I enter into that restaurant, the way in which I carry myself, the things that I talk about with the people around me, somehow it never fails that I end up being blessed with my lunch being paid for, my dinner being paid for. It's not that I'm manipulating anyone, but what it is I'm setting intentions. I've already journaled that I want a life of ease. I want to be blessed in certain ways when I walk into a room or when I walk into an event or an establishment. And so setting that intention, moving and walking in that way in softness, I attract what it is that I'm looking for. And you can do the same thing. And then the last thing is embrace rituals that slow you down. In another video, I talked about a couple of different things. One was sitting in silence intentionally for 10 minutes. That slows you down. Being able to look at yourself in the mirror and speak words, speak life into yourself, that slows you down. Doing things that intentionally slow you down and make you more present with what it is that you are doing, how you are showing up, is going to raise your feminine energy. And in many cases, you might not even recognize it's happening, but it's happening around you. So tap in and pay attention and watch what's going on. I want you to do me a favor. If this resonated with you, I want you to drop a heart in the comments if you are done confusing softness with weakness. Because again, we are not weak, sis, but we are going to operate from our divine feminine energy. And I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you in the next video.
Elevate with Monique.